Hello, and welcome to this introductory session of the AgBMP Loan Program training. In this session, I'll be going over the basic structure of the program and the accomplishments of the program for this year. This session will be of value to anyone new to the program or as a refresher and an update to the status of the program. The purpose of the program is to finance with low-interest loans projects that reduce or prevent water pollution problems, that provide clean drinking water or address odor issues. The program works because of the cooperation between the local government units, the local lenders, and the landowners who must address the problems that they face. Keep in mind that we provide loans, just loans. You're not giving away any free money. And for our program to work, the projects have to be of benefit to the environment and affordable to the borrower. From long experience, let me tell you that people will not be fighting their way to your door. And as a loan, you don't need to make up an elaborate application scoring and inspection system. The only criteria is there a pollution problem and what's it going to take to fix it? Borrowers will be coming to you only when there's a really problem, so go ahead and fix it without a lot of bureaucracy. And in the end, the more projects you complete, the more loans will be issued, the more funds will be repaid, and the more projects you can do. The terms for the program are pretty simple. You can have any number of people involved in any project, and any one person can have multiple loans outstanding at any time. But each person is limited to a combined total of $200,000 for all their outstanding loans at any one time. Now, the borrowers have to make repayments, and they cannot exceed a 10-year term, and the lenders are held to a maximum interest rate of 3% plus their usual and customary fees. What's your role in the program? Well, the LGUs have to approve the affected projects. Lenders, they evaluate the creditworthiness of the project and they provide service of the loan. The Department of Agriculture and the AgBMP staff, they distribute the funds to the lenders and make sure that the contracts are up to date and the money is in the right funding source in the right account. And ultimately, it is the borrower's responsibility to get the project done. We don't require that you get approval by the MDA when you start a project. You attend these sessions, you know what is effective in your area, you decide what is eligible. But if you do send something in that is questionable, well, we still can't fund it. It's still part of the state laws. So if in doubt about the eligibility of any project, we ask you to give us a call. We could talk over what options you have available. When a question about eligibility or the priority does arise, we recommend that you use science and environmental benefits as the basis to determine your eligibility. Ask if the proposed project has been proven to reduce or eliminate the problems in the conditions where the borrower is going to be implementing the practice. If you have enough funds, well, fund all the practices that come up. If you have to make a choice between two competing proposals, well, choose the one that has the higher environmental benefits. Now, this doesn't mean that you can't fund projects of lesser environmental benefit, but rather you just fund them at a later time when the projects become available again. The AgBMP Loan Program has been around for a long time, since 1995, some 25 years. And over those years, we have funded almost 17,000 loans, providing almost $300 million in financing for environmental projects. That's between 400 and 800 loans every single year, averaging over $11 million per year. And you have funded all these projects with just $83 million. Because it's a revolving loan framework, even if we never got another appropriation, we could still continue to fund $13 million each and every year in perpetuity. Though for the last couple of years, we've been able to fund over $20 million. You can see our activity over the years on this table. Our peak year was in 2019 with almost $26 million in loans. For this year, we're projecting that we're going to reach close to $15 million despite the pandemic. Now, 15 million might seem like a lot. However, it's similar to the activities that we were able to accomplish in the aftermath of the recession just 10 years ago. Still, 15 million is a strong showing considering the current economic conditions, and it exceeds our program's current sustained capacity. And what that means is that you're still spending more money than what we're receiving in revenues. For this past year, we're quickly approaching $15 million in loans, about 625 projects so far. Although our largest activity changes year to year, this year, most of the funds went out for ag waste projects. One thing I did want to highlight on this slide is the other category. It continues to grow primarily because we have been funding well projects to address contaminated drinking water supplies, primarily dealing with nitrates, but also arsenic and other water quality problems. This table just shows a summary of the actual amounts and numbers if you did want to study those numbers themselves. If you do so, just stop the video here and turn it back on after you gather up the information you need. I always like to remind people that even though this program is housed by the Minnesota Department of Agriculture, we are not just another ag lending service. No, it's true that most of our funds do go out for ag loans. However, when you look at it by count, the number of loans to farms versus non-farms is fairly even, with about 40% of the loans going out to non-farm landowners, primarily to address septic systems. So keep in mind that this program not only addresses farmers, but we serve the entire state. Now for what everyone really wants to know. If you could get all the funds moved around to the counties that have the projects and you spent every last one of our dollars, next year we estimate that we'd have about $24 million available for loans. However, from a practical standpoint, with some 87 counties, 75 local government units under contract, more than 250 lenders, and with hundreds of projects in all stages of development, it's really impossible to spend every dollar every year. If I had to guess, I would hope to fund about $15 to $17 million in this next year. Though I would expect that when you add up the demand and the request for loans, it'll be well over 25 million. I wanted to end by saying that this isn't your typical government program. We don't have those hoops and those hurdles normally you have to jump through. In practice, our program is only as complicated as you make it for yourself, so keep it simple. And since it is a revolving loan program, the more loans you issue, the more payments come in, so the more loans you can issue. Thank you for attending this session. If you have any questions, give us a call at the AgBMP Loan Program.